Sometimes I feel I wanna hide, but that's just only in my mind. This funky groove just keeps me high. It brings me alive.
And maybe I'll wait for the rain. Get caught up in it, let my thoughts go. So many things on my mind. Get me back living high. Ooh, I think I'm feeling real nice. And give me that 35. And play me that 35. And play me that 35. I feel this 35. Can you feel this 35? I feel this 35. Can you feel this 35?
There's just so many ways to feel. Yeah, this is different, but it's made to heal. Just let this groove run through your mind. Let it get you high.
It's more than a moment, giving me life, the feeling of euphoria. Colors are flickering bright, and I'm here, got me going, and I don't wanna leave, keeping me here, and play me that 35. Give me that 35.
I feel this 35. Can you feel this 35? I feel this 35. Can you feel this 35?
It's overwhelming and indescribable. I get stressed from the world, so I'm turning to unreliable. Bass, guitar, and some keys. Even the horns takes me places in the fields of gold I can adorn. I feel at most peace I possibly ever been, especially in those moments where it's set for me to never win. Overcome the odds, expression that be my cause, and turning this energy to a round of applause. I sing in with the melodies, flowing vibes incredibly. 2 steps to shoulder bounces and rockin' steadily. Illustrate my thoughts with this pen to paint a better me. It's my escape of running in this race to where the cheddar be. Now my emotions exploring all on the canvas, so even when I'm old, I'm still a man on the campus. Keeps me clean even when my thoughts is on the dirty side. That's why I'm baptized with blessings on this 35.
It's on my mind, this 35. Let our thoughts just intertwine and fill up on this 35. It's always 35. This 35. Let our thoughts just intertwine and fill up on this 35. It's on my mind, this 35. This 35.
Wednesday morning pause. Super pause already. We get to the pause in a minute. But this is one that definitely needed to be done on a Monday. On a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday is today. But in the morning, normally I go at night. But something happened over the week that required me to actually load up the camera. It was already packed up. I had an event this weekend. It was packed up, set the studio up, and go live today. So I hope everybody's okay this morning. And I hope, you guys will share, because I normally don't go live in the morning. And I'm sure a lot of you, well, most of you are at work. So make sure you share this so people can hear what I have to say on this subject. Most of you probably already know your boy Diddy got off, pause, but not really. He got off today. He was found not guilty on the most serious charges, but he. Whoa. Wait, my YouTube is going on. Hold on. Shut up, dude. Yeah, I have been following this case from day one. I've been watching and following. So I pretty much know what was said, the testimonies and everything. So everybody's wondering, wait, how did he get off? How did he get off? Did he get off because they overreached? The prosecution, they overreached. They didn't do domestic violence, even though they kept bringing it up. They didn't put anybody with the RAP3 charges on the stand. So it was really a mess. I mean, they got him on some stuff, but the stuff they got him on was like, oh, okay, whatever. Now, he's going to do some time. This is federal. But at the end of the day, he's not going to do life. So I think it's a win for both sides. I know people wanted him to get locked away for the stuff that he has done. But see, here's the thing. Even though I think he's despicable with the things he did, you still have to prove that in court. It's not enough to go in court and say, well, we think you did it. You have to prove it. And if you have a case strong enough to win, you win. I mean, these are the feds. They normally win. And they actually really did. But let's see what happens going forward. They're saying he might even be released today, on bond. To get sentenced maybe a few months down the line. So we don't know what's going to happen with that. Scrutinize this. Do your thing, bro. Just pulled over trucking to hit the gym. I'm listening. What's up, man? Good to see you. We're going to get to it. A lot of people have been noticing I've been using different headphones for my playing. I came across these headphones. I want to show them to you. Hopefully you can get these. These are called Soundbrenners. These headphones that I have on right now, I've been using them for, service. And, I buy headphones when I need them. I'm not like some of you. I can get modes. I'm still, everybody's saying, you should get modes. You should get modes. I'm not getting modes. It has to be justified for me to spend that money. And even though I'm not broke out here, I'm cheap out here. So for me to buy modes and everything else, it's not necessarily something that I'm really into. I have to be strongly convinced to do it. Like buying a bass, I'll do that in a minute. But buying headphones and all this stuff, I just buy what I'd use. I normally get something. I like it. Now, these, for $99, they're very, very good. They're called Soundbrenners. I think these would be good for those of you who want an entry-level in-ear monitor and you're tired of the KZs going out on you, or the lower-end Juicy Ears, even though I would like to work with Juicy Ears. I've been in contact with them, and let's see what happens with that. But lower end deals. And, it's other companies I'm in contact with, but Juicy is the most notable that a lot of you may know that has an entry level price. But these are very good. They're $99. They're very crystal clear, and you can hear everything. I'm using them right now, actually, and these things sound amazing. I might have to use these for my podcast as opposed to the over the ear. So these are something you might want to pick up. They're called Soundbrenner. You probably seen these on Instagram. I decided to take the bullet and just try to buy them and see what they are like. And I've been trying a lot of in-ears, believe it or not, over the last few years. And these, for $99, they're better than the ones my friend was having me try out that cost $600. That's crazy, because when I did Memphis, those in-ears was $600. And when I tell you, those things kept flying out, they kept popping off. $600, you don't want that. You don't want that. You just want a reliable headphones that works. Nah, I love my modes. Everything else falls out my ears. Well, that's your ears. You have those, Dr. Spock ears. They're weird, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry that for you. But yeah, so anyway, I wanted to jump on here. Sure. No, and that's the thing. When we did the album 10, when we did that album in Washington, D.C., I bought 425s. I bought them when they first dropped. And when I tell you I did not have a great experience with the 425s, they kept falling out. And it's like, what I paid for them back then was crazy. And I had them shipped to Washington, D.C., where we did that session. And I couldn't believe that for what I paid. And these are Sures. I'm like, oh, they're going to work. And Brent always telling me, no, you need to get modes. You need to get modes. Maybe one day I will get modes, but just not today. But you guys are here for me to talk about what was done the other day. So I'm not going to prolong it. Let's get there. And yes, this did make Preachers Gone Wild because it actually happened in church. And man, a lot of things happened in church. I mean, some of the wildest things. I mean, a lot of things. Hey, which brings me to this. Why I haven't seen anybody posting about AIM? Isn't AIM this week? I haven't seen not one video of nobody posting about AIM. Not to say this is whack or anything, but normally I'm seeing videos. Those of you who are in AIM, I want to see the vids. I want to know what's going on. Don't make me glad I didn't go. Make me sad I didn't go. I don't understand all of that. But anyway, I want you guys to check this out real fast.
Over here, this band and choir, oh my goodness, the singing has been absolutely superb. And I just want to say that if you haven't gotten what you needed from the Lord in this meeting, then your wood must be wet.
Whoa.
We need to watch what we say in church. You said it's next week, JJ? Oh, snap. Y'all might see me in AIM. Okay, I don't know why I was thinking it was this week, because normally it is this week. Okay, so it's next week. Oh man, I might have to show up. I might have to show up to AIM, y'all. I'm not gonna be there the whole week. I'm gonna try to get out there Wednesday. Oh, I might have to show up to AIM. I might have to show up. I think I'm gonna show up to AIM. That made me so happy. I'm actually kind of glad right now. Some things I have to move around and some other things I have to. I'm going to AIM. I'm going. Let me book my flight. Let me book my flight. I'm gonna be there Wednesday though. Wednesday I will be there. Oh God, I'm actually excited right now. Almost excited as this dude.
Everybody say bless, 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 bless. Say bless, 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 bless. Come on, say we're blessed in the city, we're blessed in the field. We're blessed when we come and when we go.
That was crazy. Because first of all, when they're playing the song, you just go along with it. That would never happen at Powerhouse. That would be really, really bad. That meeting on Monday morning would be epic. It would be long and epic. But I thank God that I have Raekwon, I got Russell, I got Razor. These guys have perfect pitch. So normally when they remember, D, we in F or we in E flat. And so we all know the song, and I know the looks they would have given me. Russell probably would have sat there and not played because, you know, he liked that. He would be like, I ain't playing it. You know, he liked that. This gives me so much. See, even right here, this proves my point. Russell would not play it. He would sit there and look at me, and I'd be like, play, bro. This is exactly what he would do. Raekwon would probably look at me through his glasses. Razor would have just had his little nonchalant. Razor's probably the most nonchalant, laid-back person in the band. So he just would have, shook it off. TJ would have just been like, yeah, whatever. Man, these guys, they give me anxiety sometimes. The different personalities that they have. I love them to death, though. I do. I love the band. But yeah, that's crazy. I pack up faster than D. Well, yeah. The other dude, that's Russell. The dude that left early, that's Russell. He probably would have walked out the door on that. All right, I just want to break the ice because now we're about to get to the cream. Monday, I woke up to chaos in the musician community in gospel music. I love us as church musicians. I love your talent. I love it. But man, sometimes we could be a bit much. We could be a bit much because there's no pleasing some of you. Like if we play pocket, you say we boring. If we open up, you say we doing too much. And it's almost like sometimes we're playing so that you could be satisfied and not necessarily for even the church that hired us, or sometimes we're playing because we don't want to find ourselves being ridiculed online. So we lose ourselves and not really as expressive as we should be, because we're now participating in something that we should not be as church musicians. We should be, number one, we should be playing for God. Yeah, right. You know, some of y'all, whatever. I'm not here to judge you. God bless you. But then we should be playing according to what the house needs, according to what your MD who hired you told you to do. We kind of lose sight of that because now we're trying to avoid the landmines, that is the criticism that comes from our peers, which are mostly watching online after they left their storefront. I saw something that was posted, and whereas they posted it saying it was phenomenal, there were a lot of comments. There were a lot of comments, a lot of criticism. And it happened to me twice this year already, where I've gone out on gigs with Ricky with two different drummers that did two totally different things on two totally different songs, and the criticism that they got was crazy. So we're going to have some fun today. We are. Those of you who have good counting ability, when I play these clips for me, only thing I want you to say is he hit the one or he missed the one. He hit the one or he missed the one. That's all I need you to type in. We're going to have some fun with this before I actually dive in. He hit the one or he missed the one. Here come the first one. If I can get the sound, hold on. Y'all gonna see me do some. I actually threw this in late because the reason is the video that I had before, it wasn't that great. Hold on, let me make sure. Because you can hear me, you can see me vibing, but I'm not playing. And you will hear it now. That was Brent. And that was Brent. I think he hit the one. I think he came right in. He hit the one, right? So those of us who was counting, and if you look at me the whole time, I was like, the whole time, because I'm not as advanced in counting as some of you. So I have to do something to keep the timing in my head. But he was right on. And I kind of chuckled when he came in and he actually stood up at the end of it. I kind of chuckled because I was like, man, you did all of that and you still hit the one. Because it was like, and then you can listen to it and it actually sounds like he sped up. But in his mind, he heard click, 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 click. But in our minds, we didn't hear that. And by me playing with Brent's pause so long, I knew, listen to the click, because he gone, and we was in New York, and you saw them standing around, he gonna do his thing. But that's what he was hired to do. Ricky does not like non-aggressive drummers. Every drummer that we have had since the great Calvin Rogers has been aggressive for the most part. For the most part. Why? Because when Calvin came on the scene, when they did the Hallelujah album, that was before me. When they did the Hallelujah album, they had a pocket drummer. They had a pocket drummer. I'm not going to say his name. Some of you know who he was. But they had a pocket drummer. And this drummer actually bats, boots, bats, boots, bat. But when Calvin came on the scene, it was different. He revolutionized the way gospel music was played from a choir standpoint on drums. He did that on his own. That's why he's great. That's why he's on Mount Rushmore of gospel drummers. You cannot have a Mount Rushmore of gospel drummers and don't have Calvin Rogers. It makes no sense. I will not take you seriously. But because of that, now you have drummers that are aggressive. Ricky wants an aggressive drummer, and Brent brings that. Some of you keep saying pocket, and I get what you're saying, but that's not always what the MD or the artist wants. So we as musicians, especially professional musicians, the ones that are not at home, we have to give them what they want. You think I don't want to go to a gig and just play boom doo 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 doo. I don't think my ADHD would allow me, but if I was hired to do it, I would do it, but it drives me crazy. But I do it because these are the people who, now I've done recordings here where I've done that. But even then, I want to do this lick so bad. What up, Damien? He has to do what you have to do. As long as you hitting that one, I don't care. Recently, we had another drummer come out with us, and I was very proud to have him come play this gig with me. He told me he always wanted to play for Ricky Dillard, and I was happy to have him on board. Brent was out on tour, and so we needed a drummer. But in looking for a drummer as MD, I had to say, okay, I need a drummer that can give me what Brent is doing. We didn't need a pocket drummer. We were looking for a drummer that can learn the songs, because we have a lot of songs, but was aggressive. When you need them to be aggressive, you go. And if you look at one video that they posted, you hear me say go. I literally said that when we were in sound checking, the first stop of the tour, I said go. And after that, I didn't have to say it to him no more because he went. And this was the one we did at the Fox Theater in Atlanta. Right here, count. Did he hit the one? He hit the one. In my opinion, he was right there. But if you count it, he was, but in their heads, y'all, pause, but in that drummer's head, he's hearing click, 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 click. He's hearing that in his ear. We need to make sure that we're going click, click in our ears. Don't worry about it. You hired the right drummer. He's going to come in on the one. Complain when he don't. Complain when he doesn't. But he hit the one, in my opinion. He hit that one. That's why he's going to get the call again if Britt does it, can't make it. He's the first person I'm calling. And that's what I'm saying. So I looked at this video, and I think they did him a disservice. They did him a disservice because they didn't do the lead up. If you notice the clips that I just posted, I cut right before, a bar or two or three before, and then I got a little bit after. That's the only way you could really give the context of what was played. But this is what they did to him. That's what they did. That's all they had. You didn't even hear him hit the one after. So my point is, what was done here? What was the point? And so you had people in the comment section saying, he hit the one. And it shouldn't have been a debate. You post the clip, be fair to musicians. Don't just post the point where they mess up, which is another reason why we got so many Instagram people that are scared to post their live videos because they got the vultures out there looking for you to make a mistake. I'm constantly being chastised for that. It's so many videos. I tape a video every week, but I'm like, nah, I'm nitpicking because I know y'all vultures gonna be like, oh, he ain't that good. Look, he missed that note. He rushed it. He did all of that. But shut No, we not doing that. Don't even get discouraged at that because we play live. They're in the bedroom with the computer going and they doing punches like we don't know you did a punch right there. I've been playing longer than some of y'all been alive, bass players. Don't try to fool me. You didn't play that line like that. You did a punch because I'm only interested in what you did live. I'm not interested in your bedroom stuff. I appreciate your talent and thank God for you. But don't come and tell me your overdub skills are nice while you sit online and you chastise musicians that are playing live and got to nail it right away, which is another thing that's unfair to church musicians. As a recording musician, we get a week minimum to learn the songs. Church musicians, we get one band rehearsal and one choir rehearsal to have it better than the people who took the whole week to practice it. You think that's fair? And then we got y'all looking at us saying, oh, he didn't hit the one. He didn't hit the one. He's not that good. That's so disrespectful. Our community should be sticking together. What you should have done is taken the whole live. Did he hit the one? He hit the one. That man hit that one. He hit the one. And y'all so savage with the way y'all talking. Some of y'all was surprised. Because if you didn't do nothing else, you went and you laughed at some of the comments that was made. We got the people saying you should be pocket on the solo. I don't know how you could be pocket on the solo. That's why it's called a solo. They said drummer go. Drummers go. This is 2025. This is the way they play. We are gone from that. We ain't there no more, y'all. Stop trying to make us go back. That's not where we are. This is one of the reasons why we can't bridge the gap between the older musicians and young musicians, because the older musicians keep telling them to stay in a place they're not made to be. They are made to progress and be and take it to another level. And we are there to guide them and make sure it's not too erratic and crazy. But you guide. You don't force them in a box that you never even tried to expand. Play pocket. I heard that my whole life. Never did it. And here I am, still playing, still getting called, still gigging, and they're at home and they want gigs. Derek, when you ain't on the gig, could you call me, text me, I'll fill in for you? No hiring you for I'm not hiring you. Because I can't have somebody still doing pentatonics in the wrong key when I can get somebody that can play and play, because Ricky not gonna want to go back. Nobody I played for want to go back. They hire me because they know I'm aggressive. They know I'm gonna fill in those gaps. They know I'm gonna follow the keyboard player and the drummer. Stop telling these young musicians to play pocket when you don't even know what it is. You think a pocket is simple. It's not what pocket is. To me, I was always taught the pocket is whatever that MD tells you it is. If that MD tell you, go, that's the pocket for you. How many times have I been in the studio, they be like, man, I want you to be more aggressive, be more aggressive. We all know what that mean. We know what that mean. You hear bass players playing now, they not doing that stuff we did back in the 80s and 90s. Well, Goosh and all of them, you know, they was ahead of the game. But they called him busy. Now I'm looking up on Instagram, these bass players is going. And they should. It should progress, y'all. And we, the older ones, we tell them when this, make sure it's making sense to your audience. So we have people on there taking shots at this young man, which they should not have. And Raekwon got on there. Raekwon is the one in my band, y'all. I'm going to talk to y'all. Don't worry about it. I'm not ignoring you. I see all y'all comments. But Raekwon is the one that you don't want to cross. And this man said something, and I don't think his comment was that bad, but Raekwon pulled no punches. This man got on here and said, hey, well, he did say something bad. How can you be great and trash at the same time? That drummer and everybody hyping him up did that. Had he kept the groove when they cut, it would have been lights out, but he killed it in a literal sense. Then Raekwon comes back. What's trash is you holding on to the hair on the sides of your head. Oh, God. Raekwon, bruh. Raekwon. Raekwon. We're going to have a talk later on rehearsal, bruh. You didn't have to kill this man's soul. If that ever should be my plight, bro, I promise you, I'm gonna be like George Foreman. Just go ahead and cut it off. For real. Hopefully it's not, but if it should be, you ain't gonna see me with looking like Philip Banks. Even though he made it a vibe, I digress. Here's my thing, and I mean this. Musicians' criticism is always okay. It is. For us, we have no choice because it's so many of us. And everybody's vying for your position, assuming that you have one. So you're going to run into criticism. I would tell you, take that criticism, use it, because some of it is valid. If somebody comes on here and be like, he probably shouldn't have did this and that, but it was dope, that's constructive criticism. You should be okay with that. That's not hating. I saw people actually going at these people for being genuine in their criticism. You posted it or it was posted. You played it. That comes with the territory. Those are called growing pains or pains, period, because I'm still criticized. You can accept that kind of criticism. What makes it valid is if you go back and you listen, you be like, maybe I shouldn't have done that. That's valid. Calling people trash, saying they all this other stuff like I was reading, or he shouldn't be playing drums, or he need the Holy Spirit. And I saw on another post somewhere. Come on, man, you don't know these people. And church is the only place where we eat each other up like that. I mean, R&B, I would kind of expect it, but we supposed to represent something totally different. And y'all, this man literally played what he was told to play, and y'all rip him up. Y'all need to learn the difference between criticism and bashing. Both sides. Everybody that doesn't like everything you do is not a hater. Some people just don't like your plan. That doesn't make them a hater. They don't prefer you. It's about preference. But if they see you playing and you do something that only to certain people is okay, then they have something to say, maybe you shouldn't flip that stick in the air. I think that was too flashy. That's constructive criticism because to them it was too much. That's constructive criticism. We need to learn how to take that as well. But it was people being unfair to this man. And here's the crazy thing. If it was somebody y'all literally was up here, literally glazing about your favorite drummer, you would have had a glaze fest unlike nothing you would have ever imagined. And y'all would be like, oh my God, you'd have creamed up and everything because this is your favorite drummer. But it's because it's somebody you don't know or you probably don't know like that. You felt that, oh, I'm going to get my Cheerios up and this is the person I'm going to go at. You being fake and phony. Go with your main ones because they not perfect either. None of us are. So when they miss the one or they play something that's crazy all beat and everybody can't understand what they doing, don't you go rip him up, but you give them a pass. That makes you phony. That makes you a groupie and a glazer. We don't do that over here. That's not something I represent. And I was very disappointed with us doing that. And some people I saw on there commenting, let me say this, and I mean this with all my heart. Your level of criticism should match your level of talent, your level of experience, and your level of credibility. Don't you dare jump on this here app, going at people saying stuff like they trash, but we can't find you nowhere. You cannot do that and expect to just walk away like nothing happened. No, this is a free world. You can say what you want to say, but you better be ready for that heat that's going to come right after that. And I see that too much. When I see people go at musicians and stuff like that and they harsh in their criticism, I immediately go to your page. And most of the time, I would say 95% of the time, I'm unimpressed by what you did while you over here going at somebody else. You can have your criticism. That's fair. But make sure your criticism matches because now we got an imbalance here. You jaw-jacking like that on that level. then I expect to see Grammys behind you. I expect to see records with your name on there. I don't care nothing about your Instagram followers. Half of y'all buying them anyway. I don't care nothing about that. Because there's a lot of people on Instagram, when you hear them play, you like, how'd you get 100,000? That don't mean that much to me. It only means something to me if you monetize it and then it makes sense. But if you're not doing that, then no, I don't care. I don't care about all of that. We need to do better with the way we treat each other. Criticism is always welcomed. It should be. As a growing musician or as a professional musician, criticism comes with it. But don't be like that, y'all. Have your criticism. Now, let me say this, and then I'm going to go because I only wanted this to be an hour. And I'm 38 minutes in. Well, then I want to, talk to y'all. I want to talk to y'all. I want to hear what you got to say because I haven't been even reading the comments because I want to get this off my chest. Pause. Let me say this. As a drummer, as a professional musician myself, and I've been doing this longer than a lot of y'all have been alive, always play to the room. What do you mean? If you're in a church setting, it's not just you at that point, even in your solo. You got to make sure that everybody in that band, the choir director, the choir, and the audience understands what's going on because you don't want it to sound like chaos to them. You don't. Everybody should understand where that timing is, not just you. Keep that in mind. When it's time to really go, 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 you know when that is? When there's absolutely nothing going but you. If there's a choir singing, there's an audience singing, there's a director going, and there's musicians waiting, trying to find out, maybe think about how you're going to approach this in a different way. Just think about it. I'm not telling you how to play because I'm just giving you advice as somebody that's doing it. But make sure we shouldn't have to guess. Make sure we all on the same wavelength. Some of us can count like that. Some of us can't. And you got to play it like we can't. You know what I'm saying? It makes sense because most choir directors, they're not that advanced in that. And then in the choir, they're not either. I've seen things like this go wrong. A lot of times, actually, where the click was gone, had to turn off the click and everything else. I've seen it. Let's try to avoid that. Now, if this is what was done in rehearsal the same way, and so everybody knows it, then go for it. But just keep that in mind. You got a lot of moving pieces here. A lot. You got bass keys, aux keys, organ. You got all these pieces. Just think about it for a second. Just when I take my solo, I want to get there, but I want it to make sense where they're not, everybody's hitting the one. Because if they got to guess, you're going to hear some snafus, and I did hear one. So, hey, it happens. It is what it is. I do want us to have a good time in church, though. As musicians, we should be able to express ourselves. But this is something that I just think, I've been seeing it, and I think it's something that should be taken, give a little thought about it. Making sure everybody, including the audience, understands what's going on. If you don't want to, that's fine. Express yourself, go for it. But if you, kind of want to make sure everybody's on the same page. Now I'm going to start reading all your comments because I know it was quite a few. Yeah, okay, y'all saying they cut it off too quick. Wait, oh yeah, I do. Hey, I do collect offerings. The stars, they help me. They help me. Let me see. Let me read some of your comments. Now y'all can talk to me. I'm here for you right now. I appreciate the young being able to express themselves respectfully. That was not allowed in my days, and we were called rebellious and disobedient, having a different opinion. Small minds prevailed because of this. I'm glad the new generation is shifting that awful manipulating spirit. Me too. I do appreciate the younger musicians. I mean, y'all different. There's some things that we could work on, but that's for you and your MD to work on with you. But it's some things that we could do better. And I don't want us to feel like, I don't want you to feel like because the older musicians come to you and say something to you that we're chastising you. We're really, my mindset is to make you better than what I was. And that's not just playing. And I think that's a problem, where some of you think because you're a better player, you should be. You should be a better player. I mean, that's why they make 2.0. If 2.0 was not better than 1.0, then why would you need a 2.0? So, but you should be better than everything. You should be better players. You should be better professionals. You should be better individuals. You should be better in every aspect. You should be better in being on time. You should be better in being clean. You should be better in that. We expect that from you. And that's, for me, that's what I want to see. I want to see you be better professional. We all know you can play because that's pretty much what a lot of you do. You play your instrument. No knock to you. Good. God bless you. But be better professionals. And I think sometimes when we get on you about that level of professionalism that we expect, that's when the pushback comes. Oh, the OGs always at us. Oh, they always at us. We ain't always at you, bros and sisters. We're not always at you. We shouldn't be at you at all if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. The level of excellence should far exceed your ability to play. So what you can play if you're late. So what you can play and you got all the chops in the world if you look like hell. I don't care about all that at that point. You could probably be the pinnacle of players. But I need you to line up your professionalism. Why? Because your ability may open that door. But all of that stuff that you bring to the table that they don't want, that door gonna shut quickly. And it's like a long hallway of doors gonna close simultaneously. It be some fool that open the door, well, we'll let you in. And then I'm like, no. And then they gonna close the door. That door, that hallway of opportunity for you guys is long. But your professionalism and your attitude about things, that's gonna close all of them for you. Churches don't like you coming in there smelling like weed. That's just it. You cannot go to a church and expect them to conform to you. It's the other way around. You don't go to a church and say, I want to wear my hat. We don't wear hats here. It's period. What would have been respectful is it okay I wear my hat? You can wear it in rehearsal, but we don't do it on Sunday mornings. Why? Because we don't. We don't need, that's when you mess up. Instead of you say, and don't try to debate with your people who hired you. Just do what they asked. They not asking you to go to Diddy parties. They asking you to wear black and white or to wear this or to come in clean. And I think that's where the divide is. I've never been jealous of another musician, young or old, being better than me. That comes with the territory. You're not going to be the best. You're not. There is no MJs in music. There's only preferences. There are no MJs. There are no MJs. And I think that Luciferian mindset is what causes issues in the band. When it's all me and I should and I, me. That's Luciferian. It should be we. If one member of the band is not doing what he's supposed to do, it makes us all look bad. And as leaders, we the ones that's got to hear about it. I don't like having to do some of the stuff I have to do as leader, but some of the stuff is needed for correction. And the Bible speaks of this. Only a fool rejects correction and guidance. Only a fool does that. And your foolish ways it's going to cause you to miss out on the greatest moments of your life. And that's the part that saddens me because I see so much greatness, but I see a lot of self-sabotaging. That's what I see. And we got to be better than that, musicians. I expect that from you. So forgive me if you see D come to you and be like, why you got that on? Represent something better. I wanted to see us clean. Y'all look so nice when y'all dressed up. I was so proud of my band. They came in there looking like ushers, but they looked great. I like that stuff. That's professionalism. Everybody did what they supposed to do. Well, almost everybody. A Diddy party. That's the problem with a lot of young musicians is that they don't consider all the room and the main focus. I think a lot of them do. I just think sometimes, especially when the bigger the moment, that sometimes it kind of consumes them. And that's all of us, actually. It ain't just them. We just see them a lot more. But I think it's a way we can make it where they actually get to express themselves the way they want to musically without us having to shelter them and hold them in a box that like I said, I don't believe in that. I believe in letting them express themselves. When it becomes chaotic, that's why you got an MD to say, hey, yo, dial back a little bit. But you got to be careful with who that MD is. You know, MD need to be able to let them be progressive as well. And I think that's another issue leadership needs to understand. And if you're going to be a leader, especially if you're older leader, you better be ready to bridge that gap and find a strategic way to do it. Because if not, then you're the reason. I believe in letting these guys express themselves. I do. I wholeheartedly believe in that. And they help me, you know, because now I get to see the way things are being played. But if it gets too much, I'll be like, it ain't working. He said, bro, I need to explain the 1, 2, 3, 4, because based off of what I'm reading in the comments, the one that is not what we should be looking for. Is that accurate? In the Brent one I showed, he was supposed to come in, and he like maybe a eighth note or a full note and an eighth note before we come in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and ba ba ba. So he was actually there. So when I'm saying the one, that means like when the band actually comes in. That's what I really mean. Like, did the band know this is where it was supposed to go? Now, and that one that all in his hands, da 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 ba, that's a push. But he still was there. He still was there, in my opinion. You say every walk has a level of professionalism to succeed. Glad musicians are speaking on it. Thank you, Cuzzo. We got to have another live. No, another live. But no, I just wanted you guys, I wanted to jump on here to have this conversation with y'all. I think it's needed. And like I said, what I saw, I was very disappointed because some of the comments was just too raw. Which then I'm gonna leave. I'm so sick of this chankster mentality. None of y'all got bodies. None of y'all actually about that life. I never really understood that. I've been playing bass since I was 16 years old, right? Professionally, right? I could count on one hand how many times somebody actually really pulled up. I could count on one hand. Somebody did pull up. I've seen it maybe once or twice in my whole life. And yeah, it was pretty bad. But still, the many times that I've seen on this here app where people be like, well, pull up. Y'all ain't pulling up. Just stop. Y'all not pulling up. And you ain't gonna pull up to Powerhouse. I promise you not, because by the time you get to us, you're gonna be looking like, yeah, that's not gonna be good for you. I think you should probably pray and let God lead you to another establishment. But stop with all the chankster stuff. Ain't no, y'all, some of y'all real. Some of y'all real. I get it. I know I have a past too, but really ain't none of us gonna do that. And we shouldn't. It should never get to the point where we're ready to fight over something like somebody missing a one. Think about it. You get in a fight, you go to jail, whatever happens, now you with Diddy, sharing a bunk with him, and him tickling your nipples. And why? Because somebody missed the one, you felt like somebody disrespected you in your opinion. Is it really? That makes no sense to me. Why are we fighting and arguing over something this simple? Either you agree or you don't agree. I don't like people taking shots at this man. I don't. But I'm not going to get into a fight over it. That man at home with his family, he ain't studying none of this. He's a great person, by the way. He's a great individual, which is why another reason why I felt like that was wrong. And now, had he been a Jag, then, you know, I probably wouldn't be feeling this way. Let me see. Come on, D. Not Diddy tickling your nipples. I'm just saying, man. Joseph Harris. He definitely was on for one angle acoustic-wise. And that's another thing. That camera, okay, we just moved into that facility. Our first service was Sunday. Now, those of us who moved outside of a storefront to another storefront, you move into a big church, that first couple of services, you got to get your footing. No, we still got treatment to do. We still got stuff to do. So what you heard was echo, and yes, it's echo in that church. Used to be a Catholic church. It looks nice. We got it treated way better because the first time we was up in there, I was like, oh, we ain't going to make it. But it's much better. But there is an echo there. The live actually gives you the full picture. He was on. He was on. The dude, and here's the crazy part. This dude can really, really play. That dude is really, really dope. Come to Pilgrim after I get back from AIM. I'm gonna go to Pilgrim. But yeah, go to Pilgrim. Look at the services. Dude can really play. Dude is really, 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 really dope. Really, really dope drummer. But most importantly, he's a really, really great person. Great person. And I think we need to consider that. Because y'all be up in there when it's the people y'all glaze over, y'all be ready to fight over people that wouldn't even lift a piece of their foot to fight for you if we was to go back at you. They not sending you hospital bill money. But y'all rip up people y'all don't even know. That's y'all, these people weird. He said, it's sad. They lose a lot of respect, love, gigs, etc. when they have to go overboard. You have an image to maintain and uphold. But again, the mindset that comes from thinking and being professional. Yeah. And I think that's a responsibility that myself and others have taken on. I am going to be that person. If I see y'all going at somebody, I'm going to jump right up over here or I'm going to hit your inbox. If I know you personally, I'm going to hit your inbox. I don't really go at people I don't know like that because y'all not good at taking criticism from anybody. Not even older musicians and people that have been where you trying to go. You don't even want to listen to them. That's sad for some of you. Thank God for the ones that actually listen. They're just mad that they're not on the platform. Yeah, a lot of it is jealousy. I mean, Pilgrim is growing. Pilgrim is a thing now. And they have a good thing going on. I'm only happy to just play for one moment, and that's when Bishop played because they got it covered. Trust me, they got it covered. And that's what it is. It's like that in AIM and sometimes too. You got musicians that are jealous because certain musicians are chosen and you're not. Then my advice to you is to show why they should choose you. Show why they should choose you. And y'all don't know how to network either. Network ain't carrying a book bag around with stuff that you ain't gonna use during the week. That's not networking. Networking is actually building relationship with people. Building professional relationship with people, talking with them, and most of the people over at AIM, Devin, Kevin, all those guys, they're approachable, but you got to network so they'll know, hey, this is somebody we can plug in. So when Derek or Trey or Rob or one of us show up, they be like, okay, or we can't go, they got you here. They can still plug you in because AIM is huge. It's a lot going on. It's way more auxiliaries than there are musicians to facilitate. So you need to work on your networking. Okay, let me see what. Yeah, I'm thinking about it, Damien. I might be there Wednesday. All three of the drummers killed. Only Pooter actually hit the one, although the other two never lost timing. They did not hit the one more so. Speaking towards AD, I think that's what's causing confusion for a lot of people. When you say didn't hit the one, are you saying they missed or that they weren't supposed to come in on the one? Pause. Because that's what I was thinking. Because when I counted, my timing ain't the greatest when it comes to that stuff. But I still felt like when it was time to da 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 da, I thought he was on. I didn't expect him to be like a robot, but he was pretty much spot on. Let me see what Maurice is saying. I think we as church communities are very hard on ourselves with expectations, and real talk most likely don't have no savings, no assets, retirement game plan, and so much dumb expectation. Well, that's a conversation within itself, and I agree. And up until a certain point, I was that person, to be honest, if I could be transparent. But I got away from that. I'm gonna talk about that other post Monday about musicians having other sources of income. I don't want to talk about that right now. Right. I said that earlier. They were coming in on ends and pushing. I said even with Pooter, that was like a whole note and a half, maybe a few beats before. I mean Brent's was dun, 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 dun. That's the one. But he came in to so we understood where he was, even with Pooter. It's just about knowing the song, all in his hands, and has the and in their particular part. Right. Correct. What is Keyshawn saying? Build relationships, create content, showcase you. In the most cases, they don't call you because they don't know you. Right. Showcase yourself playing wise with content. Showcase yourself professionally with dressing, time management, networking, good hygiene. Social media is literally the palm of our hands. Use it. Absolutely, man. You are on it. I should have pulled you over here to have you just say that. We needed to hear that. Somebody please screenshot this so people can understand. We got social media. I didn't have social media. I had a record player. How did I get calls? I showed up in the places. I showed up. My face was there and everything. Now I'm getting called because of my reputation. But before I built the reputation, I had to be at these places. Y'all got it different. Y'all can post content, and I'm gonna jump off here, I swear, because I gotta get ready. I gotta go pick up a car. But you see how I got my camera, my lighting, my camera is here, my background is clean, it's crisp, you can hear me real good. This is what your content should look like, y'all. I mean, if you want to be taken seriously. I just post because I like playing. Most of the time, it's a camera sitting there. I'm at church having a great time, right? And my wife, she gets content of me when I'm out with Ricky, right? But there's a light here. There's a light here. There's a camera here. And this camera wasn't cheap. You know, make sure when you post your content, it looks great. It needs to look great. Experiment with coloring. Experiment with doing video edits. Experiment with building a logo. I have a logo. My logo is, well, that's right there. You see D Hearne show. That's just for this. But I have a logo. And on my shirt and on my bases, my base has my logo. My Lakeland, that little pick guard, is it my Lakeland over here? Here it is right here. Hold on. My Lakeland. This is my Lakeland. You see it? It has my logo on it. That's my logo. I made this logo. It's on my base. So I'm like, I think we should do that. For when you're building content, you're really building a brand. Build a logo. Have that logo on your video. Make sure your stuff looks clean. That way when they see you, they go to your page and they see your content, they like, oh no, he a real one. He's professional or she's professional. We want to work with you. Seriously. You said that was a dream of mine. Oh yeah, was that your first AIM? Man, AIM is an experience. Yeah, they might see me whatever. Old Ricky Dillard albums introduced me to you, D Hearne, at a real young age. What album was that? My first record actually was No Limit. So let me see how far back you go. That's No Limit. That's with The Holy Place, If We Faint Not, No Condemnation. That was my first record. Actually, would y'all support me if I actually did content like that? I actually want to do a series of new G songs that I played, and I just play them like little snips and covers of them. Would y'all support that? I'm thinking about doing that. It takes time. You know, my time is kind of really crazy right now, but I figure out some way to do it. But would y'all support it is the question. I want to do a series where I just play all the songs, well, most of the popular songs that I've recorded over the years with New G. I might do a couple of that I didn't record that I like, though, because I do love Good Shepherd and In His Name. I love those songs. I might do those. He said, yes, No Limit was dope. Yeah. My wife ready for the smoke and get the smoking. She should have. Now, to the point as well, AD and I were talking. People can be very facetious because they'll be in the comments again talking about do all these live. What do you mean, Jeremiah? I saw you in the comments. You was going in, bro. Oh my God. I didn't even hit you up. I should have. I was about to be like, hey, just pull back, because you was going in, bro. You was going in. You said would definitely support it. Okay, John. Janetta said yes. Tim said yes. Okay. Okay, good. What song should I do first then? I'm gonna try. Y'all gonna get my wife on my she's definitely gonna be like, you need to do that song. You need to do this content. You said I support. Yes, those Ricky Dillard songs, especially the ones at Power, are crazy. Well, I've been arranging those. I've been rearranging a lot of that stuff, man. Like the one we did when we was in New Orleans, I kind of switched some stuff around. And that's what I do love about y'all young musicians, y'all the circle of life. I keep telling y'all, a lot of my inspirations, especially now, my arrangements, it come from you. You guys are inspiring me. Hopefully I'm inspiring you, but you inspire me. I never tell you to stop. Y'all be going for it. I ain't, Rooftop. Oh, God. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you definitely, you was there, No Limit. No Condemnation. That's one. Like, man, we post content like crazy. Haters will say he can't do this live. You know, as a bass player, I can see when you done a punch. Am I gonna knock your head off for it? No. You posted content. I mean, what my point with that was, don't go at somebody for going live doing something that you can't do live. You need Pro Tools. You punching in every 2 bars. I've seen literally looking at people's fingering. I'm a bass player. You're not gonna fool me. You played this pinky, but it was a low note, bro. You didn't play this chord. You played one note, and then the chord came out of left field, bruh. Stop playing with me, bruh. I be listening to these dudes playing. I be like, really? You didn't do that for real. Do all of them. I don't have that time. You have enough bass content that should be generating 10 grand a month. You know what, Maurice? We need to talk about that. I know me and you, if you going to AIM, let's have a face-to-face sit down, chit-chat. Ooh, no meat. Chit-chat. Let's talk about that, because I do got plans for that. I want to get to the point, and I love doing IT work. That's my day job. I got masters in it and everything. And I'm still going to do that. But I really want to do more content, y'all. I really want to do more collabs with other musicians. I want to do that. It's like sending me the files. Let's do collabs and post them. Like, I think during COVID was the best time to do that. It was great to see all of y'all doing that, but then y'all Negroes fell off. That made me so mad. Man, you dropping tidbits. Like, My Soul Says Yes while you trading off licks. Man, that was My Soul Say Yes was crazy. That was a crazy song. You're the bass player I never learned about. You're the reason you're the first bass player I ever learned about. It's kind of hard this light in my life. You were the reason I started playing. Dang, I'm honored, bro. I am honored. Thank you so much, man. Hopefully I continue to be an inspiration to you, but I do like hearing other bass players' interpretation of music that I record. On my Instagram, when people tag me on stuff that they cover or a song that I played, I actually share it. I actually post it in my story. And I actually do spotlight you. And I do appreciate y'all. You know, I don't want you to play songs I recorded like me. I want to hear you. I want to hear your approach on it. I do. So when people send me their approaches to songs that I've recorded, I'm actually ecstatic. I'm like, man, because it makes me think, okay, this is how Derek approached it. But I want to know how you would approach it. If Ricky was to call you to play the song, some elements you need to do, but I want to know, what would you do on this part? You said, y'all niggas did fell off. The educated bassist. Man, I like that. The educated bassist. I actually call myself the master. I actually be saying that. Who's the master? My band know that. I be like, who's the master? And they be saying something else. I be like,
Nigga, please.
nah, I'm the master. Nah, but thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. I'm sending some stuff today. You've been saying that you've been saying that forever. Don't, man, please. This dude, Daryl, been saying he gonna send me stuff forever. I got people sending me stuff, though. I do need to get to work. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the show, man. I just wanted to jump on here. Oh, dude, that's Jonathan did sub for me. I did that gig with Marvin Sapp, and you did that second. Man, they told me about you. They was like, man, he was solid. John, my boy. I didn't know that was you Sunday, though. You was blazing Sunday, dude. Oh, my God. I was like, who is old bass? Dude, that's how you play. Nah, I'm messing with you. Every time you play, that's what I want to hear. This dude was killing. Good job, bro. Oh, my God. And your tone is unbelievable. Unbelievable, man. We need to sit, because I want to know how you did that. That was great. If you faint not. I don't know if I can play 178 BPMs at this juncture in my life. That was 178-ish. Man, I don't know if I can do that. Man, can you imagine shouting at 178 for like 10 minutes like y'all be shouting now? That's crazy work. I'm for real because I need you. Okay, send the files. Send the files. Send the files. I work with you. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I am about to go. I got to go pick up a car, man. I got a long week, but I'm happy. I'm going to AIM next week. Oh, man, I'm excited. I'm excited. I can't wait to see my friends. Yes, you can. He lying, y'all. I cannot play 178 BPMs. Where's my phone? Hold on. Open, hey Siri. Open metronome. Well, I'll find it myself. I'm sorry, y'all. The show is over. Y'all can go. I'm just sitting here doing this. She messed with me, talking about he lying. With your base skills and content, you can generate enough now to retire with the tax income, pay off all your bills, including your mortgage in less than 10 years. There's a power of having gift and making room for you. We need to talk, bro. You got me intrigued. I know you got the method. This 178. I'm trying to go, hold on, clear. 178. Let's hear it. No, it's fast than that. Bruh. That is fast, bro. No way I can play that song like I used to. Nope. I can't. I don't even know how I even. Nah, bruh. Nah. Y'all gonna have me sitting at home. I'm be trying to do that stuff. No. We ain't doing that. No. Oh my God, they would be. Yeah, they in AIM in Arizona. One More Chance is about the same as Faint Not. It is. And the thing about One More Chance was crazy. I had to do that. The whole, oh God, that song used to give me nightmares, especially when we used to. Thank you. I love Lillian, though. I love you, baby. I love you, Lillian. You probably so cool with me. She was so nice to me when I first met her. We love you, Lillian. But I hope we never sing that song ever again. that right after we did that thank you, that can y'all imagine I had to do that the whole time? My arm used to literally be burning after playing that song. And it was usually the last song. So and then Brent, thank God for you, because Brent would do them long solos. I get a chance to rest. But man, no. I hope we never do that song. I can't do that no more. I can't. I learned that bass move on bass. What? That ding. Then the bass line you were playing even crazy for that tempo. Dude, but you know the bad part about it, Faint Not is 183? Bruh. Nope. I don't know. I might tackle if we Faint Not, man. Y'all gonna make this grandpa and me just, nah. Woo. I've seen you play faster than that. On what? Alex said he seen me play faster than that. On what song? Bruh, no. I can't do that no more. I don't know what y'all trying to kill me. Unlike these athletes, I ain't gonna sit up here and tell you I can play at 183 that long. I can't do that. You need to meet them, Blaze and Mark, my church here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Oh, yeah, I'll meet them. I got to find out when the next. I was just in New Orleans a few weeks ago. I wish I would have known. You could have swung up. I don't know how far that is. Play us one song. I'm only buying time. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get ringed when she come in this door, ready to go. Do change tutorial from the Keep Living records. What was that? No, that wasn't us. That was Fred. That wasn't me, Alex. That was Fred. Okay, my lessons. Okay, we'll have to do that offline, Sam. We'll have to do that offline. I will do change. We just played that in rehearsal Saturday, and it was crazy how much quiet and we remembered from that. We were working on something's big coming out, y'all, from New G. We were working on it, but it's gonna be dope. And yes, it's gonna feature me in a lot of songs, a lot of bass solos in this record, y'all. Woo! Your boy is getting bass solos on the next New G dropping. It's going to be fun. Yeah, so I can't give too much about it because we still, working out. But yeah, your boy got bass solos on this next new G record, like real bass solos. Like it's just me and the choir, so it's gonna be fun. Yeah, that's. Do I sing? I do sing from Brazil. Oh, you in Brazil right now, Ryan? I do sing, but I sing good enough to not let windows break, if that makes sense. Like my tone is okay, but yeah, I'm not a singer like that. Live recording, yeah. Oh no, it's live. I just gotta find out where it's gonna be. Yeah, but it's me being featured on some of these songs is the part that's got me like excited. Like, wow, like I'm literally doing solo stuff in some of this stuff. And one them songs, they nice. I mean, they nice, but I can't tell you too much, but they nice. Y'all gonna like them. They gonna be dope. We got a lot of stuff. Yo, bro, it's an honor to know you and hit gigs with you, bro. Appreciate you. Hey, thank you, Zach. And please text me because I know it's something coming up. I can't remember what it was, but it is something coming up. A couple of things, right? Please text me because I can't remember. I need to get my Rolodex on another level because I can't remember everything. So I'm reading y'all comments. Thank y'all so much for your support though. Can we get Founder to release for the 40th anniversary in 2028? That's actually a good idea. That's actually a good idea. I need you to come to Jackson, Mississippi and do a clinic. I'm actually in Jackson, Mississippi tomorrow. I'm actually going to be in Jackson, what is that, tomorrow or Friday? I'm in Mississippi Friday, actually, for a function. So, maybe we can link up or whatever. Are you doing any arrangements? Yeah. Well, the arrangements are done, actually, but we're going to add to them. You know how that goes. You get a song and then once the band gets to it, it's going to be slightly different, but I'm not really wanting to touch this stuff. It's you ever got a song and no, these are not necessarily remakes, but you ever got a song that felt right off rip and you really don't want to mess with it to mess up the vibe? A lot of these songs are like that. They're like that. Like, if this record doesn't get us a Grammy, then something is wrong. That's all I'm saying. Something is wrong. This record right now that we're trying to get through, if this one don't get us up there, something wrong because it is definitely great, in my opinion. Fact, Zach, I'll be shaking my head and when he calls me to fill in. Yeah, well, and that's another thing. If I call you to fill in, it's because I really believe you can do it. I don't really call people that I don't believe could do it. I'm not like some of these musicians want to call somebody that they think ain't great. When I call you, I want you to play. And I don't want y'all to be coming ever to feel like you need to do exactly like me. No, because to be honest, let me give y'all a story. When I first played for New G, I tried to do everything the great Curtis Clark did. And it didn't work for me. They didn't. I remember Mike saying, God rest his soul, I miss you, Mike. But I remember him saying, Derek cool, but he not you. And that all came because Derek was trying to be something he wasn't. I say this all the time. If you're going to be some bass players, drummers, it's a lot of y'all I know, but find your own tone. Find your own style. Find your own groove. Find your own method to get to whatever. I'm going to sub. I'm going to find a note in the keyboard player and do that. That's why the keyboard players, they love when I'm there because they can be like, "Ooh, you came up with that." Like Raekwon to do the arch back, even though sometimes it's possible. I love you, Raekwon. You're my brother. But he'd be like, "Ooh, like that's the way I play." Don't miss out on opportunities trying to be somebody else that you're not. You are you. Be you all the time. And if they like you, great. If they don't, keep doing it. So, what's good, fam? When you releasing the bass instructional video? When I do it. But I think I am going to do this series on New G stuff. I think I am going to do that series. I am. I'm going to get started on that. Yeah, Mike was my dude, man. I love Mike to death. Oh man, I don't play bass for real, but whenever D Hearn personally calls me for anything, I know I've done something. He don't call just anyone. Nope. And if I'm calling you for Powerhouse, you know that went through a layer of people. For real. That went through me, that went through the Mr. Music, that went through B Hud. That means all three of us agree that and B Hud actually loves you, Jeremiah. He loves you. So you definitely gonna get calls all the time. All the time. Yeah. It's not limited to New G. Well, I think I want to just do New G. I think I want to do one of yours, but Rob killed that song so bad I don't even want to do it no more. That Great and Mighty by Keisha McFarland. Y'all need to check that out. It's on her it's on, what is it? YouTube. You still got that on YouTube and all the outlets and stuff. It's called Great. What is it called? Please put it in the comment section. Y'all listen to that song that she did. It was off the chain. It was off the chain. I love that song, but Rob Woolridge killed that song so bad. I wouldn't even want to do the covers on that one. That song is ridiculous the way he did it. That dude is amazing. And the crazy thing is, this dude is probably one of my favorite bass players, but he do sound at our church. Like when the content that you see on Instagram from me, his mix from the church live. That's crazy work, man. This dude is amazing. Great bass player, great sound engineer. This dude he crazy good. Oh, Dorinda recorded it. Yeah. Yeah, he killed Great and Mighty. That's the one. Y'all need to go listen to that. Y'all need to go listen to that. That's great. That's a great song. Be confident in that own sound that you create as well. Yeah. Be confident in it. And here's the thing. People may not like your sound, everybody, and that's okay. When I started playing around Chicago, I had to switch. I used to be run mids hot, bass detent, and just back bridge pickup all the time. That used to be my sound. I remember I used to do it all the time on my Warwick. I called him Gramps now because, he long in the tooth. But I used to just jack that bridge pickup on mids all the way up, bass at detent, and just walk like that. That doesn't work for everything, right? It doesn't. I knew it, whatever. But I was like, thinking back, that was my sound, and I should have kept that mindset that, hey, this is my sound, I'm gonna keep it. But sometimes you got to make adjustments. Now I play more of a Chicago tone. They like real thick. Like if you hear Jonathan Sherrill's tone or Rob's tone or Thad Johnson's tone, that's Chicago tone. Maurice Fitzgerald, real big and earthly. That's what they like out there. And I had to adjust, so now you get the best of both worlds. But I said all that to say this. If you got a tone, that's your tone. Let it be your tone. And then just find ways to give the artist or wherever situation what they want without losing yourself. But your tone is your own. You worked hard to get that tone. And if everybody else is telling your tone is good, then just kind of, refine it to better fit where you are working, but still keep your tone. People should be able to say, that's D, or that's Alex, or that's Ryan. They should be able to say that without you taking away from the song. It's your tone, but it's still your tone in a way that fits that artist or whatever, if that makes sense. Yeah, let me see. Bless His Name, live in Toronto. Whoo, that's a hard one. That's a lot going on in that song. There's a lot going on in that song. I remember that record. Y'all don't know, man. That was a difficult record. And that record actually introduced me to Brent Easton, the refined Brent Easton. Brent came in a rehearsal that I didn't even know he was showing up to, and neither did Mike, who was the MD. Well, did Mike know? I think Mike knew, but I didn't know. It was something totally different supposed to happen. But Brent sat at the set, and I was like, I remember Brent, and I hope he don't mind me telling this story, but Brent sat at the drum set, and he was like, I remember Brent had a jazz sound. It was real light. And I was like, is this going to fit New G? And I was like, I don't know. I never told Mike, but I was thinking, is this going to fit New G? Because I didn't even know he was showing up. Reggie brought him. When that man sat at that set and he started playing that stuff, them opportunities like that don't come often, y'all. They don't. That man played that rehearsal like he wanted the gig. He showed up, was sharp, learned that stuff, and was making that stuff his own in rehearsal. We were practicing for Toronto. Brent didn't come in on that set until late. Brent was the last addition to that band that did Bless His Holy Name, One More Chance, that record. Brent was the latest addition to that. He was the last piece of that band. When Ricky heard Brent on that song, on that stuff, we didn't call nobody else. We didn't call nobody else. There were other people who were supposed to come. And this is what I want to say, man. Y'all making this longer, but this is what I want to say. When those opportunities that come like that, you better jump on them. You need to jump on them. Unless something happens that restricts you from doing that, then yeah, whatever. But I'm saying if the opportunity, you trying to align yourself with these opportunities, like most of us looking for that gig, then you need to jump on it. You need to jump on it. What do you mean by jump on it? That means when you show up to this rehearsal, or when you show up to the tryouts, or when you show up, you play that gig like you want it, especially if it's open. Y'all be showing up to gigs that's already claimed trying to take it. It don't work like that. But when there's an opening and they're looking for a drummer or whatever, then when you show up to rehearsal, you only get that one opportunity to show them you great. Because if you jack up, they ain't calling you no more. So, yeah. And that man sat there and he played that stuff like I've never seen it being played. I thought, and trust me, I didn't think nobody else could come and do what Calvin did for that. He laid the foundation, and it can never be taken away from it. But what Brent did, he took it to a whole another level from that rehearsal. And that's how Brent ended up on the gig, because he came in the rehearsal prepared, and he did what he needed to do, and he won us all over. And I was shocked because what I thought was going to be was, I was like, dang, like all the times you hear clean, loud, and everything else, I was like, nah, he got it. Let's do this. And so now fast forward, he's the intricate part of our unit. And even though our unit has expanded, you know, we got Gabe, Marcus, and now Pooter's on drums and everything else, and, you know, Josiah filled in for us too, we still can't take away from the fact that Brent actually expanded this. He made us to this point where we are right now. That band actually became New G Band once Brent came on board. And then Reggie left, and then Quad came on, and rest is kind of history with that band. Brent is the reason why I haven't. Exactly, yeah. Brent was a perfect fit. Brent was a perfect fit in that season. He was a perfect fit because we had drummers, but again, back to my very first point, Ricky wanted an aggressive drummer. He wanted a drummer that can be a showstopper. Calvin was that. He was. Calvin still is a showstopper. But with Brent, Calvin wasn't with us. Calvin had larger other horizons that he was exploring, and that's great because Calvin Rogers became greater than what we could ever imagine. I mean, for crying out loud, you can't open Facebook or anything. The dude got a freaking tune track, whatever. When I look up and see tune track doing him, I'm like, oh my God, come on. That's the dude who started all of this. But so you can imagine how difficult it was to find somebody to fill those shoes. But Brent came in and whoop, thank God for Brent. Thank God for Brent. When Brent started playing double face pedal on New G, I was like, wait, what? Man. And you know, since Kenny Phelps, y'all probably don't know him, but Kenny Phelps, he was a great drummer from here in Indiana. He was the first drummer I see do double foot pedal. Maddie Moss Clark, if you know her, she was irritated. She was annoyed when he would do the double foot pedal. He was doing it on ballads though. On ballads? On this song we doing double foot pedal? There is no great. On this song? No, Greater Love? That was weird, but he was the first drummer I ever seen in person do double foot pedal. Then with Brent, I played a few gigs with Brent before New G, by the way. But Brent was the first drummer I ever really, really worked with that did double foot pedal. Now, you know, we got double foot pedal at Powerhouse. I mean, both of them tried. It was funny because I love turbo, but when we first got that first foot pedal, it was like swung 16th. It was like diggy, 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 diggy. That is getting better when it's diggy, 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 diggy. But at first it was like diggy, 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 diggy. Like, stop trying to do that. You throwing me off now. You throwing me off. So now, no, but double foot pedal, some people think it's too much. I think double foot pedal it's almost like this little trick I do on bass. I'm not finna pick this up because I ain't finna plug it in. But I do this little trick, and I'm think I'm the only one that does it, where it's like a triple pick thing that I learned. I used to try to do Victor Wooten, but I didn't have videotapes, so I can only hear it. So I'm developed my own way to do that double thumb thing where he goes. I do it my way with my fingers like this. My pinky too. All four of these are pinky, and so I can't do that on a ballad. Amazing. Can you imagine? You can't hear it, but you could probably hear the rumble. So, amazing great. Like, they be like, bro, why are you literally triple picking on that? That's how I feel about double foot pedals. I think it's a great thing, but I don't think it fits everything. I don't think it fits everything. I think foot pedals, you got to use it sparingly. And I'm amazed that Brent can, because me, my ADHD, I'm going to do it. We just at the intro of the song. I mean, can you imagine what song, Lifter? You're the lifter. Nah, it just don't fit. It just don't fit. It just doesn't fit. Glue. Yes, he is. He is. No, you don't even know he used it. He did. That was the first one he did double foot pedal on. Was you can hear it on certain songs, but no, but he definitely does it on some signature songs. Celebrate the King, he did it on. What's the other song? It's most of the up grooving ones he'd do it. He did on, oh, that's a song. He turned it. I am gonna do a cover on that. But let me tell y'all how that song started. He turned it when we were in rehearsing for that record. Ricky just gave us the words. He was like, pressure, because I think he wrote that. And I remember saying, without knowing my scale degrees or anything like that then, I was like, I want to do something exotic on this. So I remember we were supposed to go to Bobby Jones, and I remember them telling me to put that arrangement together. And that was probably the craziest arrangement I ever did on a gospel record like that. He turned it, and then when Floyd and Sharkey came in, they took it to a whole nother level. But I didn't know the mode that I was in. And this is why people say we need to learn how to read music. I do agree. But I would have never known that was a Phrygian scale or whatever. I wouldn't have known that between anything. I just knew it was da da da. I knew the scale. I knew it was 1, flat 2, major 3, 4, 5, flat 6, 7, 1. I knew that, what I wanted to do with that. And I didn't know what scale that was, but I just heard it. That's the thing that some of these great younger musicians, they can do. They hear this stuff. It's almost like they hear it. We know now what it is, but they hear it on a level that I can't even explain. Oh, that's a Phrygian scale. They're like, what? Same with me. When I did that arrangement, the modes that I did, I couldn't. Now I could probably, transcribe it. But back then I couldn't. That was just me being expressive and doing my thing. It was crazy. Keep Living, Red Party was insane. Y'all needed to work. I think we did too much music on that, to be honest. And I know that's hard to say because I did majority of the arrangements on that record. I feel like we did too. If the producer and me know better, the producer in me knows better, but the musician in me was like, let's do it. We did one song, it's called He's Still the Light. It's not even on the record. You got to go to YouTube. That intro that we came up with, and that intro that I was like, go listen to it. It's called He's Still the Light. Somebody type it so they could go find it. It's called He's Still the Light. It's on the Red Party. It's on YouTube. Go listen to that and come back and tell me that should be on a gospel record. I thought we was pushing it on. We did a lot of good music arrangements. The music arrangements, Strange was crazy. I don't know what I was smoking. I wasn't smoking weed, y'all. I promise you. But on that, I thought about the musicians and how we all came together. I was like, let's go. Mike was like, let's do it. Let's go. If I could go back, I don't know if I would have been that far out with my arrangements, because we ended up making that record before its time. Like, if we was to do it now, it would make sense. Back then, I don't know if I would. I think I would have dimed it back. I mean, yeah, the arrangements for what's the name of that song? Blessings of the Lord is inconsistent. That song, cool. You know, but we did some stuff on that record. Y'all need to go check out that Red Party record, that Keep Living record. We was doing, it was almost, we was on something. I ain't even gonna hold you. We was on something. It's the beautiful gift of musicians. We hear and play things that we don't technically understand. Yeah, all the time. Yep. The Sweetest Name arrangement. Okay. I remember when we did that, and I remember sitting at home. Me and Mike actually came up, you know, and worked together with a lot of the arrangements before we presented it to the band, right? And I remember doing Sweetest Name, and then in band rehearsal, we added that in the vamp. We do this little da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. And so we added that. When it came down to the last couple of rehearsals, the bass line does that da-da-da, 7, da-da-da, 6. I changed it, and this is the beauty of being a bass player. I went da-da-da, 7, da-da-da, 4. Just that little note that I threw out there. Go listen to Sweetest Name. Go listen to the vamp. I go 7, 6 at first. Then I go 7, 4. Why did I go 4? Because I just heard it. I just heard it. And when I did it, the whole band was like, yo, it was great. It is. I love being with musicians and creating and stuff like that. I still say, in some elements of that record, I don't think we should have gone as far as we did. Just the producer and me. Just saying, I don't think we should have gone far. It felt like it almost felt like the choir was backing us up. And you never want to do that as a producer. You want to feature the choir. And I felt like in certain elements, not all of it, but in certain elements, it was that. I think he turned it kind of matched the vibe because that's what we were looking for. But for crying out loud, we did a scale going into the vamp. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Bruh, come on now. I mean, but it was all in the scale degrees. It was right. But still, I don't know if I would do that now as a producer. I don't know if I would do that. How many songs? I'm enjoying asking y'all questions until she comes in and knocks in the door. I'm gonna continue to y'all. How many songs we getting on this new record? I'm thinking 11. I think 11. I needed to switch YouTube because they have it running, so I can have it running in the background. But I didn't want to miss Facebook comments. But man, your setup is elite. Thank you. Thank you so much, man. I am gonna do a live eventually telling you what camera I'm using. This is a high-end camera though. This is a Canon. I love Canon color. I love Sony sharpness and Lumix, I think it is. This Lumix. But Sony is sharper, but the coloring in Sony, you got to do something extra. I'm using this app right here, and I'm doing some extra coloring, but these lights right here, they very bright. I got this big one right here, and then I got one offsetting right here, and that's why you're getting this shadow on this side. But yeah, I try to do this. When I set it up, Kevin Hayden actually, inspired me to upgrade my camera and everything. So, and I'm using a little mixer board over here with little different things that makes my voice crazy.
Then I got the robot and this and whatever.
This is the robot. I can talk like a robot. Oh my God. This is a robot.
So yeah, I invested in this stuff because I wanted to do this podcast thing for real. So when I go live, you actually get an experience. You're not getting, somebody that's just, well, it's just me and my phone. I'm never going to do that. When I jump on live, it's going to be my camera. Only way I'm on the phone is if I'm not at home. I may go live when I'm at AIM. In all of this, Doogie really got the sound we know now from Choir Master Her, from Master Her, the legendary Mike and the Bass Brent, and Quiet. And Quiet. The last few records been quiet though. I may throw a little bit here and there, but Quiet actually does the latest records, and he does a great job with the arrangements. You'll know it's me when you hear something crazy, a line or a change or offbeat stuff. You know it's me and Brent. That's how you know the Doogie formula. If it was really straightforward and musical, you know that's Mike. If it's punchy and kind of vibey, that's Quiet. If it's crazy, like somebody is on New Jack City with a whole lot of lines and Diddy parties going on in the background, then it's most likely me minus the Diddy. Minus the Diddy. But yeah, and I think all of us together, when we create stuff, that's how it mostly works. I present something and then they add, or they present something and then I add, little bits in here. You know it's me. My signature stuff is always something wild, a crazy offbeat or key change or something that you be like, man, how do you think of that? Or something wild. Because when I'm doing music, I just be like, hey, it fits. Let's do it. Some of the arrangements are a challenge. I love. Yeah, name songs that. Why are you still at Lakely? Why are you still at Lakely? Yeah, dude. That four substitution on Sweetest Name it's a godsend. It's almost like the Spirit told me, go to four. And I said, okay. I said, go to four. Like, oh my God, that's crazy. Actually, that's the most challenging record. But my favorite record, to be honest with you, is Choir Master now. And it ain't because of Rooftop. I'm going to tell y'all the song on Choir Master that takes me in. Ooh, I'm getting misty-eyed talking about it now. That Lifter song takes me in. Choir Master is my favorite one. I'm always going to have, my heart is with No Limit because that's when Ricky gave me an opportunity to play a record for a major gospel artist. So that's always going to be in my heart. But my favorite one right now has to be Choir Master. And reason why, because the Lifter, that Glad to Be in the Service, Won't Turn Back, Trading My Life, Trading My Heart for Worship. That song that's my favorite one. That's my favorite one. What up, man? What's up, dude? Good to see you. I can never pronounce your first name. Abdius, but I know I've seen you. We've talked a few times. All this good information. And the famous bake slick you did on Glad to Be in the Service. That's another thing. That's another scale that I didn't know then. What is that? Jesus Christ, what is that? So that's a minor scale with a natural 7. Yeah, that's what that was. So that's all that was. So what did I think of that? No, just played it. Just played it. I figured, and that's another moment. Like, if you notice, that was the bass solo, right? I did something, but it was out there, but it wasn't so far out there that nobody knew what I played. That's what I'm saying. When I said you make sure that your audience is still with you. I did that solo. That was my moment. I did that, and that's what I thought, and I played it. I didn't even think, actually. I just started and just said, oh God. Funny thing, when I got up there, because I wanted to do that in one take, right? I ended up having to do that record over, by the way, because something happened with my bass. And so I had to try to match what I did that night. So that's another thing, because it was cameras on me. So I had to make sure. But when I did it, I couldn't remember when you get to that 2, how the heck do you get down from there? Like, for me, descending on bass is easy. It's the ascending is always difficult for me because how I learned how to play bass, the patterns that I learned. But in this case, coming down was difficult because we all could do the major scale coming down on the minor scale. But that was different because I was coming from that major and then going back down minor. So when I got up there after doing that, I was like, how the heck I'm gonna come down from this? And then I figured that's why I ended up doing a basic do 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 do. That's how I ended up. That's the story behind that. I hope you, man, I don't know why I'm sharing all this. This is crazy. We need an entire live with the New G band telling stories. We actually did one when we released this little when we did this little video we did for Choir Master. Because Choir Master is the one record that I did with New G. We never toured. We never did a CD release or anything because that was during COVID. So when I did that, we decided to do a video. I may post it. It's on YouTube, but we decided to do it. We did Glad to Be the Service. I did another solo on that one because I didn't want to, I don't know. I just did another solo on that one. But we did Glad to Be the Service. What other song did we do? We did Rooftop, and then we did Sissy K. So I might post that. Is Brent going to be on the next record? Yes, he is. Quiet arranges with the hump. He does. He does. Quiet is a beast too. Quiet is a beast. Quiet, when he came, I'm not gonna say how Quiet came on again because I'm not gonna be messy. But when Quiet came on, he just fit, you know, he was a good fit because and Quiet, I love you, but I didn't know Quiet could really, 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 really play until after his first record because we had Floyd Thomas, we had Mike Taylor. Quiet was the third keyboard player at that time. So it wasn't time enough to even hear him. So when I first heard Quiet, I was like, oh, he good. But I didn't know he's good and a monster is two totally different things. So when I finally heard Quiet, which was after that, because there was no recording, we was literally doing gigs, I realized that, nah, this dude is like definitely him. Like, oh my God, like the dude could play. And I mean, a lot of times musicians, when we hear somebody the first time, we not impressed. And I'm not saying I wasn't impressed. It wasn't time to be impressed. We doing a record, you know what I mean? But when I finally heard him after that, I there was no doubt. There was no doubt that dude could play for real. Absolutely. We live an hour away. Okay. Lord, you need to be here before 4. Oh, that's my bro. We really need a band moment. I won't go back. We didn't get on video. Yeah. That was crazy. How I came up with that, I did come up with that line thing, that da. We were in band rehearsal at Rexell's church, actually, Rexell Hardy's church. And Ricky wanted the choir to go out. And we didn't want to just play da 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 da. It's 100 and something choir members. How many times you gonna play 7, 7, 1, 7, 1, 7, 1? So I was like, okay, well, let's just do this. And right then, da da, let's go. Da da. And in New G band fashion, that little bass line turned into that, a thing. And that's what happened with that. So when we did that, I wish they would have just showed the band because that was a total band moment. But the way that church was set up, I don't think you could anyway. They had me sitting on the front row, and it was literally people next to me. Like literal people sitting next to me. The guitar players, they was over off in the corner, but they amp was next to me. It was so crowded in that church that even getting the band, if you notice, they only showed me one time in that whole video, and I think it was because I was playing the beginning of 60K. That was the only reason. And I stood up for that because this bass right here is heavy. Ashe is heavy. That's walnut. I'm not gonna stand up no whole recording with that bass. But I stood up for that one, and that's why you got me on that part, and this actually my profile pic. What's up, Willie? You just have an insane feel. Thank you. You got time. You might as well go on and plug it. I know that girl, she said she an hour away. She tried to get me to plug this bass in, but I can't. I'm not going to plug because I literally have to plug in my preamp, which is another thing I think bass players need to invest in. Invest in a preamp, bass players, because I got this Avalon U5. I got another one in there. I used to have a Neve. Some of you know what Neve is. It's not the black and white ones you see in church now. I had a real one, a 1073. So that's, if you know anything about bass and production, a Neve 1073 is what you want. It's the gooey sound that you like in those vintage bass, that huge bass sound that like make you feel like it's in stereo. That's what I had, but I left it in Milwaukee and I haven't seen it since. But I do got the U5. I do got a Reddy. It's like a big red preamp that I normally use for like CCM recordings. It has a real big tubey sound and it's not solid. So when I'm doing gospel, I need a solid sound. So I use the U5 or I normally use the U5. It's like a masterclass. Thank you. Let's see. Keep killing. Thank you so much. B flat pause on Since He Came on Choir Master. B flat pause. On what part, Eric? On what part? That video I had, but it ain't around them on the new G Band panel, that is. Yeah, that's the one. I still got it. I still got it saved somewhere. I saved it because, it was one of the last times that we had with Mike. I mean, man, that man was instrumental in my production life, my production career. I learned a lot from Mike Taylor. I learned how to be a leader from Mike Taylor. He was probably the most laid back. He's the one reason why I used to be really, really a hothead with bands. I used to be really hothead. I'm still, God is still working. But Mike was so calm. No matter what happened, he was so chill with it. I learned a little bit of that from him. He was probably the chillest MD I ever worked with. And I learned a lot from him. I just hope that I'm doing a good job in his, now he's not with us anymore. So I just hope that. But I love Mike Taylor. That dude was great. He was a great guy. The video I had around. Yeah, I'm going to find it for you. Done at Lakeland. Okay, good, great. Sometimes mistakes be better. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's some records that my mistakes actually became things. It's been records. I'm trying to think of one most notable mistake that actually became a thing. My soul says yes. My soul says yes. My soul says yes. I was supposed to go to a 5, right? I ended up going to a flat 5th. I remember doing that. The first time I did it, Mike looked over. It was like, what the hell was that? Like, and I was a mistake. I was supposed to go, I was supposed to go to a straight 5. I went to a flat 5th. I kept doing it. After that, I kept doing it. And he started laughing, but then after a while, if you listen to the record, it became part of the song. Now you hear it. It's like a flat 5th thing. It's just, it shouldn't even be there. But like I said, on that record, we was just going for it on that record, for real. But it's there now. That was a mistake, actually. And it became a thing, which was crazy. We don't get enough credit. The way I approach ballads on New G songs, most ballads now in gospel music start off with piano. We all know that. I think when I approach ballads, I try not to, in my mind, I'm thinking not to be too much, but be present. And now I'm Chicago. Thank you, God, for Chicago. Everything is heavy. So now I'm coming in, boom. Make sure your first note is nice and solid to establish your presence. Bass is here now. I would tell you, bass players on ballads, unless it's called for to be up here, especially in the vamp, then you up here. Stay here. Stay around here. This is your home on ballads. Stay around that E and B string if you got a 5 string. You should be around here. I mean, every now and then you can move. But here's the thing. Let the song go from half, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3. let it build. Like a lot of times, sometimes I hear bass players playing ballads and they'll come in and it's like, oh, I'm going for blood already. You at a 4 and they singing at a 1. You should be under them. That's why I said 1.5. They at 1. You at half. What is a half? Just doom, boom, boom. Or with the kick of the drums, you know, and I hate when drummers, not with me drummers, when I'm hitting, if I'm not going boom, boom, you shouldn't be boom, boom. It's boom, boom, with the bass, boom. I don't know why y'all be doing that. Some of y'all want to rat-a-tat and stuff like that when I'm hitting boom, boom, you boom, boom. Boom, boom. Do you hear the bass going boom, boom? No. Do you hear anything in the band going boom, boom? No. Is anything in the loop going boom, boom? No. Then why are you doing it, sir? I don't know why I went on that tangent, but that's so frustrating to me. Drummers, boom. But no, bass players start off, let it live here. Then build it, build it. We gonna hear your chops. Say that for the vamp. Reprise, preferably. But in the vamp, you got room. If you got a full band, Mike, is his name? Matt Ramsey is probably the god right now of being able to go high, find his place, and then get back where he needs to be. But if you notice, majority of the stuff he's playing is not as many pieces. It's keyboards, bass, drums, guitar, right? He knows how to find his way around. That's Matt. Some of us don't know how to do it. I love being up here now. You know, that's just part of me now. But I think our home for ballads should be around here. Then, as the song progresses, roll up here. But get your tail right back down here where you belong. So it's like a leash. You know how you let your dog out and you let him play? You let him go, then you snatch his little tail out when he start to act crazy. That's where you should be. When you up here, get your tail back down here. Back down here, this way you belong. You belong down there. Seriously, don't live up high. Don't live up high. Is China here? Hey, China. I would call it the second chorus. The choir said things I used to do, I don't do. Oh, I think that's B. I think. I don't know. How long did y'all really after When I Think? Oh, a long time. That song went a long time. When we did When I Think, I remember Derek. I met him when we did the writing camp for that record. That's when I met him. And it was crazy how that writing camp went. They broke us up in groups. Rick Robinson was there. Jason Claiborne was there. Some of the industry's greatest writer was in that song. That last record we just did, when we did that, they actually filmed it. Like we got interviews. It was almost like real life, like real Housewives of Atlanta, how they had you behind camera and how you talk about things. That's what that was. I don't know why they never released that, but that was an experience. That's when I met the dude who wrote, Derek Hall, I think his name was, that wrote When I Think. He wrote great songs even there. Some of those songs that we worked on in that camp made the record. But that was a crazy experience for me. I'd never been to a gospel writing camp, and that was crazy. But I met him. When he sent When I Think, immediately we knew that was gonna be one. We knew. First rehearsal, couldn't even get through it. First rehearsal, they taught it to the choir. I was there. It was crazy. Then when the band came in, it just became a thing. When we recorded it, it was even crazier. I mean, if they really kept that whole thing, we still be watching it now because it went for a while. Because the song is crazy, especially during that time. You know, we had just lost Mike and everything. Well, we hadn't lost Mike, but I think it was getting there. We didn't know what was going on with him. And some people were carrying a lot of weight. But so that song for me, I never said this out loud until now. I missed Mike for that recording. This was the first recording I have ever done without him. He was always there. I wasn't his wingman in the first recording, but every recording after that, he was my maverick. You know, he was the person that like I was happy to, like, if I was like that person, the armor bearer, I was happy for that for Mike. And so when that song, I actually teared up when I first heard it because I was like, it's the first recording I'm doing without Mike. And I still wrestle. I ain't even gonna hold you. I still wrestle. What's your favorite New G record? Choir Master. Choir Master now. Choir Master. Basses, drums are a marriage. They are a marriage. He's still, yeah, he was still alive, but I'm saying he didn't do that recording. That's what I'm saying. For me, it was the first recording that I did for New G that he wasn't there. I mean, you know what's crazy? The very first recording, live recording I ever did wasn't for New G. It wasn't. The first recording I ever did for a record label was not for New G. It was for my family. I remember playing this old 6-string Ibanez. And I remember turning around and seeing Mike there at that recording. Like, I was like so gassed, like happy to see him there. I was so happy to see him there. That was like crazy. He never, we didn't have those kind of retrospective moments like that where I told him, man, that meant the world to me. But it really, really did. Like, and it's a shame because people, when they leave, sometimes you don't get a chance to say that kind of stuff, whatever. But yeah, he definitely left a huge mark on my life, like for real. For real. There is nothing I would not have done for Mike Taylor. That's how cool he was. He actually helped me. That dude was like for real. For real. When I think is one of my favorite tools to play. Richard Gibbs taught me that song in a worship last year. Wow. What level of production are demo tracks? When you submit us a track, Ricky doesn't care if it's long as he can understand where you're going. Like if you got a keyboard going or whatever, obviously the more polished, the better. But like if you send him a song where he can understand the choir parts and then you got some keyboard player playing something like that, we've been presented songs like that before. So it doesn't have to be A1 quality. Obviously, the better. Like if he could get a full picture of what he wants it to be, then or where you trying to go, it works better for you. But Ricky's very good at hearing where it could go, even with a keyboard player and just vocals. Just make sure he can hear distinctively what parts should be, So, man, I remember how we talked about that session. We both felt his absence, yeah. Plus, China was the first person I saw when I walked into the church. Yeah, that took a lot to get used to. Like I said, when somebody used to them being there for every recording you've ever done professionally live, like the first recording I ever done live professional, like for a record label. I've done recordings, but I'm talking about for a record label. That was the first one. I remember because I still had that raggedy 6-string bass. I mean, not raggedy. No, it wasn't raggedy. Got the job done. But let me tell y'all a story about this, and I'll never tell you what record it was. My very first record, I learned a very valuable experience, lesson. When you put new strings on, you got to break them in. You got to break them in, and you got to take some time to really, really break them in, right? This dude right here put some new strings on, and if you know about Diodoro strings, y'all know you really got to break them in, right? I didn't break them in, y'all. So by the second song, the bass starts it off. And it's even on the record to this day. I will never tell you what record it is because y'all not finna rip me up. But I did a bass solo, and that bass is so god doggone out of tune. It was so out of tune. Now, in between, who that told me? Was it Sam Baker or Jeff Hurt? It was one of the bass players that I looked up to. It was like, just break them in. And I didn't know about breaking in bass strings. I didn't know. I'm playing a recording, and I don't know about breaking strings in. Because, I didn't know that much. I just knew you had to put new strings on. But I didn't know Diodaros, like DRs, they don't really do that. Once you tune them, they usually stay. But Diodaros, you really got to break them in. I don't know if they still like that, but I knew then they were. So, second half, I was good. First half, I didn't even want to play the last 2 strings on that 6th string. I just stayed on the E and the A string, which is where I should have been anyway as a bass player. But nevertheless, imagine my dismay when the lady who was the executive producer of the record was like, "We ain't gotta do no overdubs." I was like, "The hell you don't? I just played this whole record, literally, literally played this whole record of the whole first half out of tune." When the record came, and then she's like, "No, they can fix that. They can fix that." Now, I don't know if they had auto tune back then. But when I heard that record, y'all, oh my God, that was so freaking embarrassing. That bass was so, and still is out of tune. I thank God. Thank you that nobody knows what that record is. And if somebody who know what that record is, I'm going to take you to the fire screen my very next live. I promise you. Lift by. Lord! You know what? You played that one, Casper. Yeah, you did. He played guitar on that. Don't you listen. Don't you tell him what record that is. I swear to the holy heavens, I'm going to put you on blast. I promise you. Do you think Founder would ever re-record Lift Up Jesus, I Feel the Spirit? I don't know about I Feel the Spirit. Lift Up Jesus is probably one I would say if he was to do like a down the journey or whatever, I could see that. We actually do have a Journey record already that I have here that I don't know what's going to happen with it, but I literally got something, and that's not one of the songs. I do like that song, though, and that's Before Me. That's on the very first record, I believe. If you're talking about the Greater First album, you still... No, actually, the Greater First record came after that. The Greater First record came after that. Now, that's my church choir. That's the first church choir I ever recorded with. And that church choir was really, really, really good. That choir is even now, you go to YouTube, Greater First Church Chorale, run a search for them. They were on How Sweet the Sound. That's how good that choir was, right? When I tell you, I was inspired one time by seeing Ty Tribbett, right? And all the pieces they walked in with. And I remember putting a band together. I had a trumpet player, trumpet player, alto sax, tenor sax, trombone player, guitar player, percussionist, drummer, keyboard player, aux player, bass player, and a partridge in the pear tree. We had a full band. I was inspired by them, not doing what they was doing, but inspired by the many pieces that they had, that big unit working cohesively and doing that. Like, not just for recordings. We traveled this way, right? So when we decided to do the first record, it's a song on there that I wish we could record again. It's called Battlefield. That song is crazy before its time. I believe if Maceo should see this, Maceo Harris, please release that song in its original form to the masses. They need to hear it, or let us do it again. You know, it was so great. I wrote a song on that record. It's called Trust Him. It's on another record that I produced for another artist that I just did a recording for, actually. It's called Trust Him. And that record was dope too. But I had learned from the broken in string instrument thing there. Are you ever going to get a permanent organist? We do have one. We do have one. Gabe and Marcus, they've been doing great. Marcus, you've seen him on some of my clips if you've been watching on Instagram. He's been there. And Damo played too. We have several now, so we have locked in some organ players. For the record, do you prefer to have the arrangements prior to rehearsal or create on the spot? I like to create on the spot, Curtis, because I don't ever want to be a producer or a song arranger that it's all about me. I want everybody to feel like they got a piece of it, because whereas I can think like a drummer, only a drummer knows how that drum should be approached in a way that can make the song more cohesive. So I can give them the bare, like it goes to A flat, then 1, then 2. I can give them the bare. This is how the song goes. And then as we work through it, we come up with stuff. Now, having If they don't have everything and they need an intro, then I will add an intro or maybe a bridge or something like that. But for the most part, I prefer for the band to actually create together on majority of the songs. Now, some songs don't allow it, but most songs I want the band to create. So, along with No Limit for the 40th, it would be great if we got amazing video with every single moment from that night. No edits or nothing. Yeah, I don't even have files from that either, from that whole record. Um, I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say. For me, that record was it. I don't really dig CCM, y'all, and y'all know that. You watch my show, I've said it numerous times. So for me, that record was good, and I was okay, but yeah, Celebrate the King, My Everything, Always There. Those are my favorite songs on that record. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Your shows are dope, and you're a dope bass player. Do you stream on YouTube as well? Yeah, this is actually being streamed to YouTube. I'm actually here an hour and 7 minutes longer than I should be. What's good? What the topic right now? I'm just taking questions right now, James. Really, to be honest with you, if creating on the spot for a live recording 10 songs, how many rehearsal days do you think the man can execute? Mm. Most of the time, they have the backbone of the songs long before our first rehearsal. So usually the first rehearsal, if this is an if everybody has listened and know the songs, it really don't take that long. I mean, for crying out loud, when we did Choir Master, we were ready for that record by Wednesday. We were rehearsing every day, maybe 6 hours a day. So we were ready for Choir Master Wednesday. So I think we recorded that Saturday, but we were ready Wednesday. So with arrangements and everything. Like the last 2 days, we just, went through and make sure we would go through the songs, take a break, go through the songs, do the same thing on Friday. So if they have the material with the musicians that I work with, most of the time, Wednesday, they usually have them. And no matter what the arrangement, when we did Keep Living, it was Wednesday. With all that music, it was Wednesday when we had the only reason why it took a little time because we had 2 drummers. And so there was some switches that had to go there, like somebody switched the song, whatever. So we had to work them in. But even with all that music, by Wednesday, we pretty much knew it. But they knew the songs going in already. So it was just a matter of, adding the parts that make it bigger or make it more presentable to the public. Yeah. Can you touch on your thoughts on secular music, melodies, arrangements being used in church? I'm not a fan of some of them. Like some of the songs that is super ratchet. I don't know if I want to play that. Even though we got away with it Sunday, TJ, knock on wood, we got away with it. But I'm okay with certain songs. I don't have a problem with it. I'm not one of those people that think church should be all solemn. I think it should be a fellowship. I think it should be celebratory. I think it should be saints coming together, having a good time. No different to me than you coming over my house and we breaking bread. We've made it solemn. We've made it all ritualistic. I don't think it should be. I think it should be a celebratory time. I think it should be a time of fellowship, a time of harmony, singing songs or whatever. So if some of those songs are clean versions or music that we play from secular music and we vibe out to it or whatever, I don't really have a problem with that. I really don't. I don't know why people do. Man, if it's something like, what's that girl name? Cardi B Classless or Megan the Man Horse or, one of them chicks or Sexy Blue or whatever, all these crazy days they got talking about popping stuff, then you shouldn't probably be playing that in church. But if it's something like like oldies but goodies, I mean, even though that's talking about something else, but they relatively clean, I don't have a problem with that. I personally don't. But I won't impose my will on somebody else. If they have a problem with it, then I'm not going to fight them, especially if it's their church. I don't want to offend people. But for me, if it was my church or my church home or soon to be church home, hint, hint, Janetta, then yeah, I would be okay with it being played. The clean ones. The clean ones. When you play songs, You recorded. Do you wish it played differently? No condemnation. There's not a record that I've ever played where I didn't want to play things differently. I mean, there's not one. And when I listen to, especially the finished version, I always say, I should have played this. I should have played this differently. I could have did this differently or whatever. But the thing is, I usually do when we hit the road, you know what I'm saying? So they hear the album version and then they hear like Phyllis once again. When I did this version, hold on, when I played this bass line. See, the real version doesn't go do da 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 da. The real version just go da 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 da. It's just something that's more 90ish. So after I heard it, and when I got back home, I was like, I'm not. If we do that out, I'm changing the bass line, and I did. And that's the bass line that I play. So, like again, to answer your question, there's not been one record that I've ever played. And I remember one time when I played rehearsal with you before that first Marvin gig, you actually expressed something about how I approached Rooftop. And I didn't even think about it then, but when I got, in my car and I threw it in, I never told you this. I threw that song in when I left that rehearsal and I listened to it. And I was like, I see what he said. So it was just another, moment for me to have some hindsight about recordings. But I think most musicians have hindsight. I mean, I remember Calvin even said if he could go back, he wouldn't have played the Hallelujah record like that. So I think all of us do that. I think it's normal and I think it's healthy. But when you gigging with the artist, you can play the recording, that's fine, but then you play it live a different way. So will there ever be a reunion? Again, I'm not sure. I think maybe when we get to 40, he might, if he's still trying to do New G. It might be. I think we got other things in store for New G, but I'm not sure if he's going to do another reunion. We do have one, like I said before. I have it here, but I don't know what he just asked about it. So who knows? But this stuff we did we did it Stellar Week a few years ago, and we did a whole medley of songs, man, all the way back. And I have it here, but let's see what happens with it. It's a great record too. When recording, I'm gonna take a few more and then I'm gonna jump off here because I know I saw the eyes from the misses. When recording, do you stand by the statement less is more, considering Ricky kind of allows the band to play? I don't believe in the less is more mantra. I don't believe in it. I believe you play what the MD or the artist wants. When they send me records, I do 3 passes unless it's David Davis. David already knows. I already know what to give him. I played Kim Stratton, what was the name of that song? Open the Gates or something like that. If you go listen to that song, that's me on bass on that. That's me, and actually, yeah, I wigged out on that. Believe it or not. What is that song? Kim Stratton, Open the Gates or something like that. But yeah, I played that song for him. But most people, I do 3 passes. I do a pass where it's just me playing straight. I do a pass with me changing up a little bit, and then I do a pass where I just go bananas. I'm filling in every gap. I'm pause, but not really. I'm playing like crazy. But what I found is most of the time they taking more from that third pass because that's really me just being expressive. They taking that third pass. Why? I don't know. But they take that third pass, or a lot of that third pass I'm hearing in the song once it's released. I think when I did a song for Kevin Powell, I'm not sure how many passes I did, but I think he kept the clean version of it. That's the only one I remember recently that kept the clean version. But most of them, they taking that busy one. I don't know why, that's what they want. So what's the preamp you use? You said you use for it. It's called the U5. U5 is an Avalon U5. It's got tone on it. It's a great bass preamp. I love this thing. Yeah, I love it because you can change the tone. So, and you can do like high pass or low pass. It's a great preamp and it's clean. Can you see a link for? Okay, Curtis Lindsay, if he blocked me on here because I can't see his comments. Curtis, Oscar said, "Do you have him blocked?" Oh, the answer for joining the church. Yeah, I'll talk to you about that later. You started bass lessons. Okay, bass lessons. We're still working. Listen, y'all gotta bear with me. Your boy is busy. I got a lot. I had time today because it's, I'm off of work, my day job, and I'm getting ready to, go. I'm leaving tomorrow morning. So I got a little time. But I want to do bass lessons, but what we're going to do, my wife is going to do beginning to intermediate. I'm going to do advanced. That's what I'm going to do. I'm the ones that say, hey, I want to open up, I want to play. And mostly she knows more technical. I don't know the technical like she does. She got a degree, for crying out loud, in it. I'm learned a lot from her. Me, I want to teach advanced, like gospel approach or gospel or R&B or whatever. Advanced performance is what I'm going to focus on. I'm going to focus on that aspect of it. So she's going to do the intermediate in the beginning. I'm going to do the more advanced because she can work with you better because she knows more of that part, and she can actually help with the advanced too. But I'm going to concentrate on the performance aspect of it, showing you different lines or different approaches, different modes, how you could go about changing, subs and stuff like that. So you said I'm in because I want to learn. Okay, great. We still, one thing we're working out is how we're going to go about the platform. Is how we're going to work out the payment, what's fair. I don't want to overcharge people, but it is my time, so we're still kind of working that out. I'm open to suggestions. Not on here, inbox me if you have any suggestions. But yeah, that's something we've been working on. There's a host of things that I've been exploring, and now that Maurice got my ear, I kind of want to do other things. I want to be the first. Okay, so yeah. But I'm glad you guys sat with me. I'm really about to jump off of here now. So, but if you have any other questions, I did enjoy the question and answer segment. I did. I'm gonna have to do this more often because you guys, it turned for me castigating people going at other musicians. Then it turned to me actually taking y'all down memory lane. And it was difficult in some parts. When I started talking about Mike, I'd get a little misty-eyed. But I am going to jump off of here. I'll see you guys Monday for the regular show. And if you have any Preachers Gone Wild to send me to post, please send it to me because I'm always looking for interesting topics and everything to talk about with Preachers Gone Wild. But I'm about to jump off of here right now, and I love you guys. You take care.